breaking news. EFF today had a press conference where they said, listen, we reject this whole nonsensical idea of, they call it a nonsense. They said we reject this nonsense called national government. And I like the points that they brought forward. Guys, look, EFF made a lot of sense. So, now, listen carefully. You've got MK Party that are saying, we are not coming to parliament. We've got MK Party that are saying, we're not coming to parliament. Actually, we are going to court. And then on the far left, you've got EFF that says, we reject the national of unity. We are not part of it. Two powerful forces that represent black people now, saying we are no, look, we will not take this bullshit that you are bringing before us. Rather, we want something concrete. That's the only time we can sit down and talk. Other than that, no. What does it do to the IEC? What does it do to Ramaphosa? What does it do to DA? Guys, we are yet to see something. We are yet to see a fight. Floyd said DA always entertain white voters. It's not what I said. Take a look at what I said here.
White people vote for one political party. 91% vote for the DA, and then sometimes when they're angry with the DA because there's got a black leader, they vote for the Freedom Front Plus, and then they go back to the DA. They've got their own establishment to protect their own interests. We're not part of that. If a government of national unity means that we must have Steinhuisen and Helen Zille who represent a counter-revolutionary agenda as government, we're not going to form part of that nonsense because we've got now proper historical trace and account of just how disastrous was such an arrangement, where black leaders who are supposed to autonomously take leadership must tiptoe around white people in cabinet. Remember, when you are cabinet and government, to introduce legislation in parliament, it must be signed off by the minister. So if you have got a minister of land who is a beneficiary of the colonial apartheid land thievery, how are they going to introduce legislation that seeks to distribute land equitably?
So Floyd said EDA, it has got white votes, that those are predominant voters where DA. And it's true because at DA, they know they are voters. You must look at the behavior of EDA. They know they are voters. They always try to please their voters. So I fully concur with Floyd when he says that it's white people voting either EFF Plus or EDA. But also, I also know that in this YouTube channel, we don't care where the subscriber is coming from, whether from UK, German, Netherlands, South Africa, white, black, but we are saying this is what you need to do. If you are not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Come on, good people, because to subscribe it is free, to like the video it is free, to comment in the comment section below it is free of charge, to click the notification bell it is free of charge, to share this video it is free of charge, to watch this video until the end it is free of charge. Also, good people, come on, to watch the ads it's free of charge, and that's how you financially contribute to this YouTube channel. Speaking about financially contributing to the channel, you can become a member of this YouTube channel from as little as 20 Rand a month. You can also use the Super Thanks button. In case you don't want to do that, guys, there is a way where you can use my media company banking details to donate to the channel, and you know what I'm saying, we'll bring you more, and also guys want to buy more equipment. So the power is in your hands. Please do the honorable thing as we proceed. Okay, so from there, Floyd Shivambu had been talking about this thing and said that we reject this thing. Anything that has got DA, there's a problem there. And I said, I truly concur. Like, DA has got Abo Helen Zille, who think, in fact, let's leave, okay. DA has got Abo Helen Zille, That's one. There are many of them, but let's take Helen Zille, for instance. She believes that colonialism was not a bad thing for black people. How do you even think of partnering with that person? Not long ago, and yet most these white people have got the tendency of using the word you people, you people. Every time when these white people are saying the word you people, they are referring to black people and excluding themselves. Helen Zille was on Newsroom Africa and was rebuked by the journalist, look, by the presenter there to say, Helen Zille, stop this thing of saying you people. And I was like, wow, this is so impressive, right? But yeah, so you've got a person, you've got people who of such caliber, and you want to partner up with them. Oh, Floyd Shivambu says, no. You cannot partner up. We can't even think, let alone talking. We can't even think about it. And I'm like, he's like, yes, Bongs. We can't even think about it. Don't even think about DA. Take a look at what he said. Here.
No, look, let's deal with this issue of the government of national unity. We are opposed to the government of national unity in as far as it resembles what was concocted in 1994. So if you were to check the outcomes of that government of national unity of Nelson Mandela, it had F.W. de Klerk as an executive deputy president. It had Pik Botha as a minister of mineral resources and energy. It had Andre van Niekerk as the minister of land and agriculture. It had some mayor from the national party as minister of the environmental affairs and water affairs. And even he had in social development a minister which came from the apartheid establishment. We do not want to form any part of a government with representatives of the white colonial and apartheid system. And we think now that through fair observation and what got to happen with the Democratic Alliance and all these minority white parties, they represent that agenda. That is why the beneficiaries of the white capitalist and apartheid colonial establishment exclusively funded the Democratic Alliance and all these puppet parties. A lot of resources, hundreds of millions, were invested not just to fight the ruling party, the ANC, to fight against the economic freedom fighters. Where you had political organizations who dedicated their energy, their resources, human capital, and everything else that they dedicated was against the economic freedom fighters. We're not going to form part of any government with the Democratic Alliance. We're not going to sit alongside the Democratic Alliance and Freedom Front Plus in government as the economic freedom fighters. And we are not desperate for positions in government. We're not going to do everything in our power so that we're appointed into cabinet or we become speakers of parliament and all of those things. We're not going to sit alongside the land thieves. We're not going to sit alongside the people who got to benefit unlawfully for a very long time from colonialism and apartheid. We're not going to sit alongside them and constitute the government of South Africa. If the ANC wants to choose that road, they can go ahead and do what they did in 1994. And we know what are the consequences of what happened in 1994. Black people and Africans in particular remain on the margins of economic participation in South Africa. Black people more or less stay in the same spaces that they lived under when apartheid had segregated black people to inferior spaces. It's still a lived reality. Racism is still a reality. Poverty of our people is still a reality because of this government of national unity. If there's going to be any government of national unity, there must be clarity of what unity, what are uniting on. And our agenda that we are placing is that it must be the land question that must be at the center of what unites. Whatever government is going to be constituted must be a common agenda to improve the lives of our people, because our people are still on the margins of the economy. It must be an agenda to provide free education. Must be an agenda to protect workers' rights and interests, to enforce minimum wages in all the sectors where they are applicable. That is what the agenda should be all about. It must not just be about position sharing. It must be on principle issues that primarily emancipates and protects the interests of our people. That is the agenda that we are looking into. So you must look into the statement which we issued at the Results Operations Center. We say, as the EFF, that whoever is going to constitute government with us should have an appreciation of what we stand for. Because there are parties, by the way, who think that what
I don't blame him. In fact, I support him. Guys, DA is bad news. And that's what people should understand. DA is bad news. You cannot associate with DA. If you don't believe me, look at what is happening in Cape Town. And I'm gonna keep referring people back to that, because that, if you understand what is happening in Cape Town, then you will realize that DA is bad news. DA is not good for you. What is happening in Cape Town is that if you don't qualify to get an apartment, in Cape Town you can qualify to get an apartment. Say, for instance, the minimum requirement is 25,000 for you to get an apartment where you're going to be renting 8,000, 7,000, 9,000. You can earn 30,000, but there are places, because of the color of your skin, you will not be allowed to rent. So that is the place where DA rules. So you can't be told about DA that when they promise that they're going to be doing good to black people, when they are failing to do good to the very same black people when they go to Cape Town. Guys, come on. So EFF have got the right diagnosis of DA. They are on point. You know what I'm saying? They are on point. That's a racist party. They don't love us. And we should always remind them that you don't love black people. You don't love us. Why should we even bother talking to you when we know that you are not of us? You don't love us. You want to use us. No. You will only use Ramaphosa, but not us. Us, we will say no to you. I go back to square one. Take a look at what Floyd said here.
in as far as it resembles what was concocted in 1994. So if you were to check the outcomes of that government of national unity of Nelson Mandela, it had F.W. de Klerk as an executive deputy president. It had Pik Botha as a minister of mineral resources and energy. It had Andre van Niekerk as the Minister of Land and Agriculture. It had some mayor from the National Party as Minister of the Environmental Affairs and Water Affairs. And even he had in social development a minister which came from the apartheid establishment. We do not want to form any part of a government with representatives of the white colonial and apartheid system. And we think now that through fair observation and what got to happen with the Democratic Alliance and all these minority white parties, they represent that agenda. That is why the beneficiaries of the white capitalist and apartheid colonial establishment exclusively funded the Democratic Alliance and all these puppet parties. A lot of resources, hundreds of millions, were invested not just to fight the ruling party, the ANC, to fight against the economic freedom fighters.
So I fully concur with EFF here to say anything that smells DA, it smells racism, it smells apartheid. People who are not apologetic about their evil doing. Why do people, apartheid fellas, feel comfortable around them? For the fact that they've never distanced themselves with apartheid. They've never done that. They've never went when in your own super sound senses, have you ever heard DA distancing themselves? No, DA has never done that. They feel comfortable around it. Why would you, in your super sound, unless you are Ramdola, you are in their pocket, then it makes sense, allegedly. But if you are not Ramdola, then you can't even think about DA. DA has publicly said they hate EFF, they hate MK. You can't hate EFF and MK and then we just think there's something good about you. No. Once you declare that you hate these two political parties, we must hate you too. It's simple, guys. Let's not complicate matters here. I hate DA, I hate MK, I hate AA, look, EFF. We hate you too. I don't want them to be part and parcel of government. We don't want them. We don't want you to go. Full stop, guys. Let's keep it simple. Let's not complicate matters here. That's how to deal with EDA. Look, this racist part cannot be cannot be allowed to walk around and they are fringe. It is as business as usual. No, no. Racism doesn't pay. People must know that racism, just like, do you remember this lady that was part and parcel, that was contesting about Miss South Africa, right? Do you remember that lady that got disqualified because of racism tendencies? Those are things we are talking about to say people must know that there are repercussions. You like say same things. Like guys, you do wrong, there are repercussions. You know what I'm saying? For that, you are doing wrong. There's a punishment for that. DA must get their punishment. Good. You endorse racism. You endorse colonialism. For that, punish you. Others will continue voting for them, but general masses will punish them.